What's up, y'all? It's your boy Smacks, and you are back with your boys again on the Cage No More podcast. Now, before we start, I want to give a shout out to one of our sponsors, which is the Renaissance Ranch in Bluffdale, Utah. It's a men's leading treatment center, actually a men and women's now in the state. We have numerous locations around, so if you or anyone you know is looking to start their journey from addiction or formerly incarceration, make sure you tap into www.renaissanceranch.net and start your journey now. Now, today I got a very good guest, one of my good friends. We initially met on social media, but he has such a great story. We can relate so much. A formerly incarcerated individual who is now a business owner. My boy, Jose Pi. What's up, my boy?
What's up,
I know Pi is short for Payaso, man. Check this out, my boy. I've been following you since the beginning of you starting your social media presence, and I know you have been formerly incarcerated. And I like to have guys on here that have been incarcerated who are now successful, because that gives the people who are suffering from addiction and suffering from incarceration the necessary tools that they need to be able to transcend into the life that they want. And you are doing it, and I am doing it. And this is that platform. Man, I'm glad you're here. I appreciate you coming through, man. Tell us a little bit about yourself, my boy.
All right, well, I mean, like you said, so currently I got probably like a year plus out the feds. I got at the halfway house in May, so I'm barely about to be a year out of federal custody. But in that short time, like you said, I already got my business going. It's been going over for a year now. And I just locked in, I got out of prison, and I chose that I wanted to do better, do better things. So I just, that's what I did. I locked in. I quit doing everything. I quit smoking vapes. I quit drinking. I don't smoke weed, none of that. I'm locked in. I dedicated myself to my business. As dedicated as I was to the streets and the hustle, I turned it into legitimate business,
Love that.
Luckily, here I am now, taking care of my family. I make a little bit of money, and I reinvest it into my company, and it's going good so far, and it's just, like you said, I'm here to push that positivity, try to show people, like I told you earlier, the grass is greener on this side, and the way we were brought up and the adversity we overcame, I mean, we're able to do anything, we just got to set our mind to it.
Absolutely.
All that craziness we did, all that, I mean, to be able to do some of the things we did, all this other stuff, this positive stuff is easy compared to
absolutely,
that,
bro.
Just gotta lock in and want it.
Yeah, man, I love that, bro. And we like we all know, we don't always start there. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We always have that upbringing in our life that have laid those building blocks that caused us to live the life that we lived. You know what I mean? What did that look like for you?
So I mean, so I'm born in Cali, but I'm raised in Utah.
What part?
I was born in San Bernardino.
There you go.
But my family moved over here, relocated. Actually, what always people throws them off is that my family moved to Park City. But we're far from rich, like we lived in a 2-bedroom apartment. So I had my uncles renting out the rooms in the living room, and me and my sister and my parents, we shared another little room. So we were far from rich, and like we lived in these apartments where it was infested with cockroaches. I grew up on rice and beans, a 12-pack of Cokes, and I didn't see my dad much because he was working 2 jobs all the time. And like out there in Park City around the time when I was younger, there's a lot of racism, and like the white kids would gang up on us Mexicans, and then we started defending each other. We came together and defended each other, and then we got labeled a gang, even though we weren't, but it just, eventually that's what it became, and it was, I don't know, I just grew up in poverty out there around a bunch of rich people wanting stuff, and it just led to other stuff, me stealing, trying to get things that other people had that I wanted. And I don't know, just from there I started hustling, making money, getting involved in gangs. There were some people from Cali that lived in the same area that moved. I think they were running away from something, and they ended up over there. And they kind of laced us up, showed us the culture, the gang culture. And around 10, I started trying to be a little cholo, a little essay. And then from there, at the age of 12, I got jumped into a gang. And I wasn't out there trying to party, trying to be cool for girls or none of that. I dove deep into the gang, and I was out there trying to prove that we were just as hard as the fools from Cali, and it just went up, and before I knew it, I was working my way up the ladder. I was doing some crazy stuff, and I don't know, before I knew it, I was 30 in federal prison, and my wife was pregnant, and it was time to change, It took 20 years, but.
Oh, I know, man. And bro, like if we could talk about the stuff we've done in our life, dog. You know what I mean? Because, the things we got caught. Imagine the things that we didn't get caught for. You know what I mean? Yeah. A lot of those things could have put us away for life, dog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, man. So you had an upbringing, it was a rough upbringing, just like a lot of us, man. We come from poverty, and I know it's hard, being a minority, bro, and because I'm a minority as well, and I've dealt with it too. And it could be something like I'm only thinking about that because how you said about the gang, how the gangs were formed. I think the majority of gangs were formed that way. From being minority and being ganged up against and people coming together and eventually, being labeled a gang and then now they're actual gang. You know what I mean? So you said you went to prison. Did you ever go to juvenile hall, to jail, anything like that?
Yeah. So, like I said, I got arrested my first time when I was 12. And it was just for tagging. And it started out just for, like, they let me out the next week, and then I'd get more trouble, and they wanted me to keep going to school, so they'd be like, you just got to turn yourself in every weekend. And it turned into like 2 months of weekends, and then it turned into 2 weeks, 2 months, 6 months, like a year. And so I went to DT, which is like juvenile jail.
Yeah.
I was there probably like 10 or 15 times. They sent me to all the freaking boys' homes in Salt Lake. I've been to O&A, Odyssey House, Journey Impact Ranch.
Yeah.
I've been to Proctor Homes, which is basically like foster care, and I've been to group homes. And then eventually I even hit juvenile prison. I was in Decker Lake for a little bit there. I did like a year. And then, but even throughout then, I got my ex-wife, I got her pregnant when we were like 16. I had my son. And, but I was about that life, I wanted to be a gang member. And I was a piece of shit, I chose the streets over my family.
Yeah.
Luckily, my son still loves me because at the end of the day, I was always there for him. I tried to be there for him, support him. When he needed me, I was there. I would pick him up on the weekends, but I was a full-time gang member,
Yeah.
My son was number one in my life, but the hood was my life, and that's all I knew. Like I said, from 10 years old to 30 is 20 years. And the first 10 years of my life, I don't really remember that much. So all I know is gangbanging, and making money. But like I said, luckily my son still loves me, But yeah, I've been to DT, I've been to juvenile prison, I've been to like a few different counties in Utah. I went to state prison in 2018, got out in 2020, and then I was out for 3 years doing good, terminated. But I still had 1 foot in my old life and 1 foot in the new, and it didn't work out. And I got jammed up again for some guns, and I went federal that time, and I did a couple more years, and now we're here, But I feel like that second time God was trying to tell me, like, you got to choose,
Yeah.
this is gonna be the rest of your life being locked up, or you got a chance to be there with your family,
Yep.
And I chose to be out here because 20 years was enough for me, I gave 20 years of my life to the streets, to the gang, to the homies,
Yep.
And I feel like I deserve the rest of my life to get to my family.
Absolutely, bro. And do you feel guilty at all about that? Because a lot, I know I've talked to a lot of homies, and they're like, "Dog, man, you know what I mean? Sometimes I feel guilty that I left my boys back there, I left the homies back there. You know what I mean? That are still struggling, because that could be a thing too."
Yeah, I mean, like I said, 20 years of my life, that's all I knew. I breathed, lived, and ate the hood, and I love the hood, it's tatted on my forehead. I got my neighborhood on my forehead, on my top of my head, on my chest. Like, I love my hood, but in order for me to be there and help them, I had to do better, and because at the end of the day, I got some homies locked up, and I'll still shoot them money when they need some food, If some homies are struggling on the streets, I'll try to help them out with bread, give them a job, help them out, Like, I don't want to enable them, but I want to be able to help them if they need help, and this is the best way for me to help them, show them that you can do better, that you can recover, that there's redemption, and try to lead by example. I led by example for so many years, but the negative way, now I'm trying to do it positive,
Yeah.
And I've done enough throughout my career and the homies have seen that I was always frontline, and I was leading the way. I wasn't like, go do this. I was like, I'm going to go, who's going to come with me, and so they've given me that respect to where, they just tell me, don't forget where you're from, And I never will, but they're cool with me doing my thing, doing my family thing, Because at the end of the day, if someone tries to do something to me, I'm going to defend myself.
Absolutely.
But that's what it is. It's defense, you know.
Yep.
I'm not on the offensive. I'm not looking for problems. I'm not looking for issues. I'm trying to take care of my family and provide for those that love me, you know. And like I always tell people, family is not blood. It's those loyal to you. So I have a big family, and I'm there to take care of everyone. But guilty, I mean, I'm trying to do better so I can help everyone. So
Love that,
I don't feel guilty, you know.
Absolutely.
I'm just trying to be there for everyone.
I love that. When do you think was that pivotal moment, right? That you decided, you know what? I want something different. You know what I mean? When was that time for you? Was it in prison? Was it when you got out?
I think it was this last time I was locked up when I lost my hair from all the stress.
Yeah. I feel you, bro.
No, it's just this last time, the feds have always been on me and my homies, and you know, this last time it was a little bit close to comfort, and everything they were trying to pin on me was a lot. They were threatening me with a lot of years, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you've been in the game, you know they're gonna threaten you.
That's what they do.
You, try to scare you.
Yep.
But I just G'd it out. You know, at the end of the day, all my homies got let go except for me because I got caught with guns. But they weren't able to get no one to flip on me, and the sentence went from double digits to just like 2.5 years.
Yeah.
And that was enough for me, you know. God, like I said, God was like, look, man, next time it's gonna be real.
Fight, bro. That fight for your life, homie.
Yeah. So I felt like I got a second chance, you know, and
Yeah.
I just was like, it's time for me. And like I said, my wife was pregnant, you know, and my wife, she's been a big part of me changing because, I don't know, I think she cared about me so much, she made me care about myself, you know, and I left her alone. And she left me for a week because she told me from the beginning, if you're going to get locked up, don't even waste my time. So when I got arrested, she left me. But then she came, and I respected, you know, I didn't call her. I was like, this is what it is. I made my choice. But she came to see me a week later, and she told me, like, people make mistakes, you know. She's like, so this is your mistake. But if you do it again, it's a choice that you made to leave your family. So if you get locked up again, that's it, you know. And she wrote it out with me, you know. She waited for me. She was making sure I would see my kid grow up through pictures for a little bit, you know. And so when I came out, I just came hungry, you know. Like she was there for me. Now I got to be there for them, you know. And I just got the ball rolling, you know. But
absolutely.
But yeah, it was just when I was locked up, and my family was fending for their own, you know, and I was just a burden, and I don't like being a burden.
Man, I could feel that, bro, because when I did my time, like I said, dog, I was in there for a long time, homie.
Yeah.
And it was like, I knew I needed to come out different. I knew that I could not walk out of those gates the same, because if I did, it would have meant something totally different for my family. You know what I mean? And like your wife, dog, my wife wrote it out, but homie, she was like, nah, if this is gonna keep happening, yeah, you ain't gonna see me again. You know what I mean? And I know you're a pretty active father in your kids' lives. How much of a role did being a father, because I've seen your videos, bro, and you're a great father, by the way, man. Very active in your kids' lives, you know what I mean? And that's something that they're gonna carry on for forever, for their bloodline as well, for your bloodline, and carry it on through your kids. How much of a role did fatherhood play to you actually making that choice to make that change?
Like the father that I had, or the father that
you are,
that I am? I don't know. Like growing up, like I said, I was in the streets making money because I wanted to be able to give my kids whatever they wanted. You know? And to me, being a dad brings me like an immense amount of joy. You know, I love seeing my kids smile. I love seeing them laugh. You know, like my youngest kid, man. It's crazy. I always tell people the only thing he's missing is the millions, because he lives like a king, because he don't need nothing. He gets everything he wants. He's spoiled.
Yeah.
You know, fatherhood to me is something big, you know, and it's kind of crazy because people that didn't have dads somehow end up being a part of my circle, you know, and I don't even know they don't got dads. You know, later just like, man, you're like a dad I never had, you know.
Yeah.
Or you're like the man in my life I never had, you know. I just like to take care of people and make sure they're good, you know, and I just want to be the best dad I can, you know. And that's the way I feel. By me being a good dad, my kids will be good dads. Good dads are strong men. The community needs strong men. You know, I don't know. My kids mean everything to me, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I just grew up because before I didn't have this mentality, you know. And I grew up and that's all that matters to me now, is being a father and a husband.
For
and taking
sure.
care of my family. That's what my dad instilled in me. You know,
Yeah.
a man takes care of his family.
Absolutely.
And I was just doing it the wrong way. But
Yeah. Did you suffer from addiction? Was addiction a thing?
I mean, I wouldn't say I was addicted. Like, I was hustling, you know, and like, well, I mean, I smoked weed growing up.
Yeah.
But I let that go, and like, I was selling powder, and I would mess around with that because it was there, you know.
Yep.
But like, only because I had it. But
Yeah.
when I don't got it, I'm not trying to. That shit's expensive.
Yeah, absolutely, bro.
I'm not gonna spend no money on that. You know, I always been good about my bread, but what I feel like I was addicted to was that fast money.
Absolutely.
I love that.
That's a real addiction.
I love that shit, and the gang lifestyle. I'm addicted to that too.
High energy.
That's what I fight every single day. Is that temptation?
Yeah.
You know, like, I need money. I know I can get it. I can always flip anything. You know, and like, sometimes I be listening. I don't listen to rap music that much no more because it triggers me to that gang
that's
lifestyle.
Good. That's smart.
You know, and
what are you listening to now? Corridos and stuff?
Country.
Really?
I be bumping country.
Heck yeah.
I be bumping like Jelly Roll, Ella Lang.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I just, because it does. I never really understood triggers until I stopped gangbanging and I heard rap.
Yep.
And it triggers me, you know, like they talking about running drills, and it hypes me up. Like, I get that rush people talk about when they do drugs, you know, and that's my addiction, that fast money, the gang lifestyle, you know. And
it's igniting those endorphins, bro, those feel-good endorphins, bro.
Because, I mean, some of the crimes you're committing, like, them things get your adrenaline running like nothing else, you know, like, and people always talk about meth, they get all freaking hyped. After I committed a crime, you know, I was in the car laughing, like, all hyped, ready to do 1,000 burpees.
Yeah.
You know, that was my addiction. The fast money, the gang culture,
that lifestyle, and I told my wife, we were talking about it earlier about how you were like, you know, at times I miss that life. That feeling of missing it is there. You know what I mean? But you know you have more priorities, so you stay on the straight and narrow. And I was telling my wife, I said, we talked about it before. I said, who doesn't like living and breaking the law and doing whatever the hell they want? Who doesn't like running red lights and not stopping for the cops, going on high speed chases? I tell her our perception of fun was jaded. You know what I mean? High speed chases, shootouts, constantly being on alert. That type of shit was fun to us. You know what I mean? And it's like, so when you talk about, you know, missing that life or that being addicted to that lifestyle, that's a real thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's a real thing.
Yeah, it is, honestly, because
I
mean, sometimes I sit down with some of my homies and like I'll talk to them, you know, and we talk about our memories, and I'm just like, bro, I was like, something's wrong with us, you know. We thought that stuff was okay,
bro.
You know,
bro.
We're just laughing about it, you know. And I'm just like, man, I don't know what was going through our head for us to think that that's okay, you know.
Absolutely.
Because I wouldn't want my kids doing none of that.
No,
you know. Now I get my parents when they said they couldn't sleep. That's one thing they say now. They're like they can go to sleep at peace,
sleep good at night,
because they know that I'm doing good, you know.
Yep.
But
so you ended up going to the feds. How old were you went to the feds? That was your last case, huh?
I was so I got arrested like 4 days before my birthday.
Yeah.
I think I was 29. It was in 2023, and then I got out 25.
How was being incarcerated in the feds? Because a lot of people don't know that there's a difference between being incarcerated in the federal penitentiary and the state penitentiary. But you did time in Utah too, though, right?
Yeah, I did a little bit in Utah in Draper
before
it got tore down.
Okay.
Yeah. So honestly, I just like I said, I don't really use drugs. So every time I went to prison, I was just working out and on my toes at all times. You know, I wouldn't run no debts or nothing. So my stays were pretty kosher, you know. I wasn't getting in trouble. I wasn't getting DP, none of that.
Yep.
But I honestly would, like, a lot of people don't know Utah prison is active.
Yeah, it is.
You know, like,
especially right now.
Yeah, like, it's crazy. You know, I went to the feds and they were just doing, people were getting dropped off the yard and they were just getting beat up, you know.
Yeah.
But in the state, you're getting poked.
Yep.
So to me, the violence from Utah going to federal was a lot less, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like my stay in federal prison was a little bit, I mean, there's just a lot more politics going on in federal prison.
Yeah.
So you're just
you're
just antsy about if it's gonna switch, you know.
Yep.
But I mean, I felt like I wasn't gonna get stabbed, you know.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. like in the Utah State Prison. So you said you hit the Utah State Penitentiary in 2018?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, 2018. by that time, I went in at 2012. 2013, the ending of 12, beginning of 13. So I had already been down. That's when 2018, I was in the Conquest program.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dog. I did Conquest, bro.
That's down south, right?
No, the Conquest is in Draper. I did all my time in Draper. Yeah, but it's in not Timpanogos. Is it Timpanogos? Timpa's the women's. I think it might Promontory.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's in Promontory building. That building is the separate building from over there. None of your homies was there. Yeah. They couldn't go over there.
Nah, I was.
That was a strict rule right there, dog. You can't go. Hey, absolutely not. You trying to better your life? We're gonna get you, boy.
Yeah. Nah, I did half my stay right there in Baker Block.
Oh, okay.
And then, but then I got transferred because they did make me go to what is it called down south?
Gunnison?
No, not Gunnison. It was a county. They counted me out to
Garfield.
No, not Garfield. I couldn't go to Garfield.
Oh, okay.
What's the other? Oh, Beaver.
I
was in Beaver.
Yep.
And I was there just chilling because they wanted me to do. They got a drug program there.
Yeah.
And my release was contingent on me doing that program.
Okay.
Because at first I denied it. So like when I went to prison, it was crazy. My first adult felony, I went to prison, and some people catch like 5 felonies before.
Bro.
So I went. I got arrested for these cases, a gun as well.
Yeah.
And they told me, my lawyers, like, take the deal. You'll do 45 days, get out on PSI.
Yeah. They always say some shit
so I was
like that.
Cool, you know. And I took the deal, and then he comes back, and they're like, 6 months in the county. I already been down for like 4, so I was like, all right, it's cool, you know, fuck it. Then I went to court, and he's like, hey, gang unit's asking about Payaso. Do you know who Payaso is? And I was like, nah, I don't know who that is. And they're like, well, they're saying that's you, and that you're doing all this and that, and you're mixed up with all these other stuff. And I was like, look, I'm here for this gun case, not this stuff. So I don't know why that's relevant at all. You know, I haven't been convicted of anything like that. So he's like, well, that's what they said, and they've recommended that you go to prison. He's like, well, we'll fight it. So I went to prison. I ended up losing, like, they sent me to prison. They're like, you'll be like 6 months. And then I get my paperwork back, and the recommendation is, I think, like 14 months. Yeah. And then I went to see the parole board, and since I didn't want to do the program, they gave me, 24 months contingent
upon program.
So if I didn't do the program, they just give me more time.
That's like mine, dog.
Yeah, and then in Utah, it's crazy because they don't even give you like a release date, really. They're just like, we'll see you.
See what I'm saying?
We'll see you in another year.
Yeah.
We'll see you in another year.
I talked about that. Indeterminate sentencing.
Yeah,
bro.
so they'll tell you when you're going to see the board.
Yeah, they don't tell you when you go home.
Yeah.
You might not even know. For like me, like in my case, it was like I didn't know till like 5 years, dog. It's crazy, bro.
Yeah, I don't know.
They gave me a rehearing, homie.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, dog. They said, hey, come back in 5 years and we'll talk about it. I was like, what the hell? Bro, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so when they told me I was contingent on the program, the homies were like, look, fool, just go do the program. Yeah. You know, there's some other homies already over there. You know, you're cool. You're in Beaver anyways. You just go over there. Just if anything comes up, you know, don't bitch up, you know? Yeah. And I was like, all right, bet. And it's because, too, over there, like, we're not really doing the program. So if there was homies that were trying to do the program, and they were getting in trouble.
Oh, for sure.
So, but, like, they're like, here, just take this packet. Someone left, fill that out, just copy everything. So that was kind of the loophole for that. Yeah. You know? You're not really programming. You're just copying some shit. But if you're sitting there raising your hand and volunteering, then they're like, what the fuck are you doing? You're making us look bad, you know? Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It's just, yeah.
No, I know. That life is that life, dog. We're glad we don't got to be there no more. You know what I mean? Yeah. So now you're out. You got out. You've been out for like a year, you said?
Yeah. So I got out in January of 25, but I was at the halfway house. And I was supposed to get out early, but I got in trouble. Yeah. Because I was trying to work, you know, and I had a vehicle that I shouldn't have had. And I got pulled over. And
Not registered or something?
No, I was registered. I just couldn't be driving because I was at the halfway house.
That's right.
And so they pushed my date until May. So I got out of the halfway house last year, May. And so.
Geo?
Yeah.
Man, that place is hateful, bro.
I mean, but luckily, I was only there for like 2 months, and then I started working, and I was working in Heber, so I would leave at 5 a.m, and I would be back to like 7. Yeah. And then I just work out and go to bed. Yep. But yeah, so I actually got out the 6th of May. So in a few days,
I think I got out May 7th, dog, but a different year, but at the same time.
So I'm coming up on a year out of federal custody. Man, that's still under a year right now.
That's good, my boy.
I don't know. I've accomplished a lot. It's crazy.
Yeah, you have. Let's get into that. So let's talk about it, because you were in the federal halfway house, and it didn't happen. It's important for listeners to understand that, just because you've been incarcerated doesn't mean, and you cleaned yourself up a little bit. You ate a couple sandwiches, you put some weight on, dog. You ain't getting high no more. That it doesn't just happen overnight. So let's talk about that. You've been out a year. What did that year look like from getting released from the federal halfway house?
Well, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, even when I was living that lifestyle, my motto was always like, I'm gonna make it happen.
Yep.
Like, no matter what I was doing, I'm gonna make it happen, Because when I got out and I had all these goals and stuff, my wife was like, look, those goals don't seem realistic. Like, you're just gonna take time,
Yeah.
But I love that, I love to prove people that,
Absolutely.
you're tripping.
Yeah.
And like I said, I locked in. Within like a month, I had my contractor's license.
Yep.
And
from the federal halfway house, you got it?
no, so I couldn't do that from there.
Oh, okay. So that's right. Once you left the federal halfway house, okay, boom.
So then I got my license, and then I don't know. I just feel too like I work hard, but I feel like I got real spiritual. I'm close to God,
Love that, bro.
And so like I just feel like God was waiting for me to make the change, and He just opened all the doors. Cause I was working for a concrete company, and that's my company, Mountain Quality Concrete.
What is it?
Mountain Quality.
Mountain
Concrete.
Quality.
Yeah.
So before we move on, what does the license that you got? What does that allow you to do?
So,
what's up, my boy? You looking for treatment? You tired of going in and out of prison? Come on, I got you. Well, here at the ranch, we don't just diagnose your addiction. We teach you the necessary tools you'll need to combat the drug use and repeated incarceration. They say I'm flexing when I smile. I'm just thankful for my life now. We'll get your body in top working condition to be the protector and the provider for your loved ones. You don't know the sacrifice. We keep you engaged in fun activities with your peers that make an easy transition into society. Head clear. No guilt in my gratitude here. We get you engaged in activities you may not usually do to bring the best version of yourself. We are not just therapists, counselors, and teachers. We are a family, and we are a brotherhood. So if you're ready to start your journey today, have your caseworker reach out, set up a professional visit with me, or have your family reach out to get you started. Oh yeah, before I forget, we take TAM Medicaid for housing too.
I don't have a general contractors. I have a concrete contractors.
Okay.
So my trade is concrete.
Yep.
And that's what I do. I do footings. I could do foundations, but I don't really mess with those. I do retaining walls, structural walls, flat work, driveways,
Yep.
stem walls, like just basically anything concrete. That's what I do, And so I was working with a company, and I got my concrete contractor's license, and I told them like, hey, I'm gonna go part-time probably, or I might just stop and completely. But they didn't like that. They were like, look, we want to keep you, so we'll just hire you as a full-time sub. So get a crew together, get some tools, and we'll just have you with us all the time. So I have a crew of like 6 guys, and when I don't have my own personal jobs, we're working with this company, and I can bill them hourly. I send them a bill for everyone's hours, and I don't charge them my guys' pay rate. I charge them a little more so I can cover the taxes.
Yep.
I can cover all my overhead, insurance, all that stuff. And then my company still makes a little bit on top.
Yep.
But compared to what they're making, I'm not making that much. But it's enough to make sure my guys are good because they got families,
Yeah, for sure, bro.
It's just a lot of responsibility because I got to make sure they're eating.
I love that, dog.
So even if I'm not making as much as I could be, they're taken care of.
Yeah, they're getting paid.
And I got a little on the side to reinvest.
Yeah.
But I've been getting my own jobs now, and I'm getting connected with other contractors, and they like my work, And like I said, I kind of got lucky with that, but it's because I work hard,
Yeah.
I work hard. I got a strong work ethic. Just like I was on the streets trying to be the craziest I could.
Yeah.
Now I'm working, and I'm trying to be the best I can.
Apply that same energy.
It's all just redirecting the energy, you know? So all that freaking passion and energy I put into the streets, I'm doing the same thing, but legitimately.
Yep.
I just do it to try to be the best in the concrete world now, And it's working out for me. But yeah, so I got my concrete contractor's license, and that's for anything concrete. And I'm just working on building my brand. And
I love that.
Everyone that I work with so far, they want to keep giving me work. So it works, And I don't cut corners. I'm not your cheapest option. I'm your quality option.
Absolutely.
And I know what kind of client I want to work with and which one I don't. And so far it's working.
I love that.
But it's been less than a year, and I got something going, and hopefully it just keeps going that way.
Yeah, man, that's the best place to be. And does being a convicted felon play a role in you having that entrepreneurial spirit, like wanting to have your own company, your own business, right? Does that help? Does that give you that feeling to do that?
Being a convicted
felon, because it's hard to get a job for the most part for people who are convicted felons. And I always know a lot of men who come from the federal prison or the state prison, they all go into business for themselves. A lot of them, because of that.
I just feel we don't like being told what to do. But I don't know, like, I've always came out and I don't have an issue finding a job,
Yeah.
But that's just me personally.
Yeah.
I don't know, other people's situations might be different, but me personally, it's just a hurdle that I'm able to overcome easier than some other people, but just me growing up, I've never been one to settle, I always want more. I always want higher. I always want to do better.
Yep.
Like I say, in the streets, I work my way up, and now I'm in the same position. I don't feel happy being complacent, being just an employee, Even with my company, that's just the start, I got like a 5-year plan, 10-year plan. That's just the start,
For sure.
From there, I got other plans I'm trying to get to, and that's just, I'm not the type of person to settle. I always want more. And I never reached the bar because I always set it higher,
Yep.
And sometimes it's stressful, but they always say that if you're comfortable, you're not growing.
Yeah.
You got to be uncomfortable to keep growing,
Absolutely.
And then I want my kids to be the same way, so how are they going to be the best they can if they see me being comfortable, and complacent?
Yep. Absolutely. So I knew you were saying that, you're a firm believer in God and your higher power. How much of a role do you feel God plays in your story?
So growing up, that's the other thing too. Like, people don't understand how I am the way I am because my dad worked hard to provide.
Yeah.
My mom lived at the church. She was at the church like 3 times a week volunteering. I grew up Catholic. I believed in God. I was breaking the law, I was getting in trouble, So I felt hypocritical going to church and stuff like that. But like when I got arrested this last time, they were throwing big numbers at me. I wasn't praying for a miracle. I was praying for, my cellie put me onto the Bible. When I started reading the Bible, I started reading Psalms. And
It's a good book.
Yeah, and I don't know, it just gave me a sense of peace,
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I realized, I might not get out as quick as I think, So I just told God, like, I might have to sit through this, so just help me get through it.
Yep.
Miracles happen, but they don't happen as much as people would like, So I wasn't asking to get out. I was just like, walk with me, and help me get through this, help me get home eventually. And that's why I feel like he wanted to give me a reality check, because at the end of the day, when they came back and gave me that deal, I was like, send it,
Yeah.
Like, I'll take it, People in the county crying over a month, and I'm just like, 30 months, let's go, run that. I'll eat that for breakfast.
Absolutely, bro.
Like you said, compared to everything I've done, it's
dog.
cake,
You'll sit down for that.
Yeah, and compared to what people are doing, people would ask me how much time I did, and I didn't want to tell them. I was just like,
I know, especially a lot of your homies, dog.
Yeah, I'm just like, man, these guys are down for a minute. I don't even want to talk about that. Like, it's like you said, those are the homies that sometimes I still keep in contact with. Because a lot of them don't got no one no more, and they ain't ever gonna see the day of light. You know? So when they call me, I'll answer. How you doing? You doing all right? You need anything?
Yep.
Because they're strong. They're strong individuals mentally. And like, I'm just glad a lot of them got hope. Maybe laws change, but some of them dudes are good ass dudes that, like, they would tell me, like, go home and do good,
especially the ones with numbers like that.
Yeah.
You guys got a homie in there that I think he's been down for like 25 years, dog. I don't remember what his name is, but right now he's in the Achieve program. And what he does is they mentor kids who are on their way to DT. They do it over Zoom, I think. But what they do is they give them advice and coming from that lifestyle. I forgot his name, dog. But yeah, bro. I think, man, when you've done time like that, when you've done a lot of time and you figured it out about wanting something different in your life, I think it's our responsibility to tell our younger homies, to tell our people. You know what I mean? It's important to be that support for someone who's struggling. You know what I mean? So when I know support plays a big role You know, I know your wife was a support. My wife was a support. When you don't have that support, how do you stay motivated, dog? To not go back to the streets, to not go pick up that strap and just go run and gun, because you know what I mean? Because it's always calling us. What keeps you motivated? What do you tell yourself? What is the mantras? What are the affirmations that you tell yourself to keep you motivated to stay on the right track?
I mean, my number one mantra when like throughout life, whenever something gets hard, is I'm a fucking beast.
Yeah.
I'm a beast. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I always tell myself, you know, like growing up in that lifestyle, they always instilled like you're a warrior.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
You're a warrior. Like that's why we're always doing burpees. That's why you got to stay healthy. That's why you got to stay alert. Like you're a warrior. Like even growing up, like with my homies, we had rules that I enforced, like with drugs. You know, no one was doing meth, no one was doing heroin.
Yep.
Because I'd always tell them like we're warriors. We're in the streets. We got to take care of each other. You being slumped out puts the rest of us at risk.
Absolutely,
Become
bro.
a liability. You know, and that's just I've kept that same thing going. You know, like redirect it. You know, like I'm a warrior. You know, I've been through this. I can do this. You know, like I'm just a warrior. You know, I'm built different and. That's what I would tell everyone, you know, the stuff you've been through, you put yourself through, you're a warrior, you know?
Yeah.
To get to where you're at and the things you put yourself through, you're a beast, you know? Like, this normal lifestyle Joe stuff, this normal average Joe stuff is cake, you know?
Yeah,
compared
absolutely.
to the shit we were doing. Like, it takes a lot, you know?
Oh, it does.
An average Joe, like, they run a stop sign and they're freaking out. Like,
yeah, dog.
Like, oh, my God.
Bro. Yeah.
You know, and like I was telling you earlier, like, I finally got my license. I'm 32. I never had a license. I got it a couple months ago, and sometimes I'd be speeding, you know, and like I'm just like fuck it, you know, it's a ticket, you know. Like, I'm used
to like $150 ticket.
Yeah, but I'm just like I'm used to fuck. If I get pulled over right now, I'm gonna do like 10 years, you know.
Yeah.
And now it's just like I don't know. I feel that's part of it too. Like I feel like all this other stuff is just like easy compared to what I was doing, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it. It's just
no. You're totally right, bro.
Starting a company, I don't really lose nothing.
No.
It's all just gain, you know?
Yeah.
Because what I was doing before, I was risking losing years of my life, you know? And like...
taking those penitentiary chances, bro.
And now it's just like the worst thing that's going to happen is I'm back, I'm exactly where I'm at, you know? I got nothing to lose but everything to gain.
Yeah.
You know, and I just throw myself in it and failure is not an option, you know?
I love that, dog.
It's just, I might need to adjust something, but it's a lesson, not a failure, you know. Because I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna make it.
Yep, I love that, bro. So I know you're building your social media presence, right? I know you've been building it and working on it. What is the message, bro? What do you think your message is, and who your message is directed to? You know what I mean?
So like, basically, I don't know. Yeah, like you said, I'm trying to grow it. I'm trying to figure it out. They say you got to find a niche.
Yeah,
and it's just I don't know. The niche that I'm going for is just. I want to show people, you know, I changed my life. You know, people growing up that know me, like people used to not want to invite me to parties because they're like, that fool always fucking starts some shit.
Yeah.
Even though it wasn't me, I would just finish it, you know. But I was that guy. They're like, no, don't bring him, you know. And, and now I'm doing it, you know. So I want to show people that it's possible to change.
Yeah.
You know, that there's good, you know, that no matter how deep you are in that life, how immersed you are in that life, you can change and do good, you know. And I mean, maybe I'll have some haters for what I'm saying now, you know, but to me it doesn't matter because I'm just trying to reach people. I'm trying to save people, you know. And
absolutely.
At the same time, I like doing family videos because that's important to me too, you know. Being there for my family, being the best husband and father I can be, you know. And that's just my niche, you know. Be there for your family, support your family, change your life, do good, and I just want to motivate people, you know. And like honestly, there's one of my old cellies, we want to start this little program probably later on in life called JGAP.
Okay.
Juvenile Gang at Risk Prevention Program.
Juvenile, say it again.
Juvenile Gang at Risk Prevention.
I love that, dog.
Yeah, so it's just basically because growing up, everyone said I was intelligent. Like teachers, they tried to save me. I felt like they didn't understand me, you know.
Yeah.
But me coming from where I come from, my background, I feel like I can maybe get through to kids, you know, and maybe save the next freaking Nobel Peace Prize winner, you know, the next best attorney, you know, the next musician, you know, get them off the street and help them reach their full potential, you know, and basically just find them sponsors that will maybe sponsor them to get into special programs or
Yeah.
something. You know, I just want to help the youth, you know, especially minorities, because I feel like they don't get the chances they should.
Yeah.
But not just minorities, you know, anyone that's struggling.
Anyone
needs
that's
help,
struggling.
you know, and just help them get connected and get to where they need to be
Yeah.
their best potential, you know.
I love that, bro.
But yeah, that's just basically what I'm trying to do. I just want to be a light, because I feel like God put me through that path for me to help someone at some point, you know.
Yeah.
I just want to spark the light in someone, you know, spark the flame.
I love that, bro. And dude, it's like who better than us to show these people, you know, show these maybe youth or whoever it is that's struggling, of how you get yourself up out of it, or how you just change your direction to where you don't even have to deal with that no more. You know what I mean? I was thinking about what you were saying, but so building your presence, right, and your message, what would you tell someone who's struggling right now, who's possibly gang affiliated, and you know, because it's a hard thing walking away from the gangs, you know what I mean? What would you tell that person that maybe thinking about that? What would your advice be for them?
I don't know, it's just, I don't know. You just gotta trust yourself, you know.
Yeah.
It's just you gotta want it.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't really want it, you're not gonna get it. You know, I made that choice to step back, but it's because I needed to do better, you know, and me being a crazy active gang member wasn't gonna do anything but get me locked up forever.
Yeah.
And it's just, I always tell people in my videos, you know, if you're having those thoughts, you know, and you need someone to talk to and run it past, you know, go ahead and reach out, you know.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what it's like on this side.
Absolutely.
You know? And it's just, I don't know. I just did it, you know.
Yeah.
I just reached that point, you know. I didn't want to see my kids grow up through pictures, you know.
Yeah.
I felt like I wasn't going to reach my full potential, and I needed to. But I don't know. Because it's hard, man. You know, like I said, I miss it. It's just not good for me.
Yeah.
You know, and I like being a dad, and I don't know, it's just, I always tell people, like my homies, I'm like, when it comes to the gang we're affiliated with, I'm like, they don't give a fuck about you.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they just want your money. They want the numbers inside, you know.
Yep.
They really don't give a fuck about you. I tell my homies, the only people that care about you are our little group, you know. They really care about each other. But at the end of the day, what we're representing don't give a fuck about us. You know, they'll send us in to get killed any day. Mm-hmm. You know, we're just a number.
Yep.
But like my homies were close, you know, and like I tell them I love you and I'll take care of you. But that what we represent, I don't feel comfortable. They don't want nothing but bad for me, you know.
Yeah.
And you just gotta realize that, you know, that that program don't give a fuck about you.
Nah.
You know, they just want numbers because there's power in numbers.
Yep.
And there's power in money.
Yep.
And that's what it all comes down to, you know. And if you can't provide that, they will fucking cut you loose, and you ain't gonna like it.
So you're still mentoring. Well, you're still being the big homie to the younger homies right now, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I'm there to try to guide them.
Yeah.
To this side. You know?
Absolutely.
You know, and I'm there for them if they need help. You know. But don't hit me up to go help you commit a crime.
Yeah.
I'll tell you to fucking kick rocks.
Absolutely.
You know, that's not what I'm here for no more.
Yeah.
I'm trying to help them be the best person they can be, you know.
Yeah.
And I love my homies, you know, I just don't love the program.
Yeah, I feel you, dog.
Yeah.
How so now that you've kind of, you know, elevated from that life, and now you're, like you said, you know, being a business owner and driving your business and putting food on table for other families, like how stressful can that be, bro? How stressful can that be, dog?
I don't know. I tell you, when I work more than when I was employed by someone else.
Yeah.
You know, like I work like 18-hour shifts, and then I come home and I still got to get on the computer a little bit.
Yeah.
And then it's hard because, like I said, I get home and it's my kids, you know. My son, he's a daddy's boy and just runs to me, and he wants me to sit there and watch Spider-Man with him all day.
He want that energy.
You know, and so it's hard to balance it, you know. But I told my wife I need to grind hard for 3 to 5 years in order to build something where I can step away for a week.
Yeah.
I can step away for a month, and we can do things as a family. But in order to get there, I have to sacrifice the time right now.
Yep.
You know, so it's more stressful on my heart because I want to be there with them and spend time with them and stuff.
Yeah.
But I got to grind so I can get to that point to where I'm financially stable to step away for a little bit, and have people that can run my company while I step away. You know? I'm still in that building phase.
Yeah, you're laying the foundation right now.
Yeah, but it's stressful. But like I said, that's just my first goal. I got a 5-year plan, 10-year plan. It's gonna take those years.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that, bro. So with those plans, what do you think that you have to apply to bring those to fruition? You know what I mean? Like what type of characteristics do you feel like you should have?
You just gotta have a strong work ethic. Discipline, be responsible. You just gotta want it, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, a lot of the traits that I used to have, I still have them. I just redirect them.
Yeah.
I'm disciplined. I'm a risk taker. I'm a leader. I work hard.
Yep.
I go after and I get it. I take risks that most people won't want to take, and
still a risk taker, dog.
Just do it legitimately,
Yeah.
I'm not breaking the law, but some people are. My wife always tells me, she's like, man, you think of something and it might not end up as good as you think, but you just do it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, because thinking ain't gonna get me nowhere.
Absolutely.
It takes action.
Yeah. So, it takes action for sure.
And I've taken a couple L's.
Yeah. It's part of life.
Yeah, but I just know that you got to take that risk.
Yep.
If you don't take a risk, you ain't gonna make it.
Nah, no risk, no reward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just you just gotta be responsible, stay disciplined, sacrifice some things, be a leader, be a risk taker, and have a big heart because you got to take care of the people around you so they can help take care of you and help you get to where you need to be.
Absolutely.
But you got to take care of the whole crew, or else you're gonna sink by yourself.
Absolutely. Well, so in closing, because we're gonna wrap it up, what would you tell your younger self, and what would you tell your younger self? What piece of advice, if you could meet your younger self, what would you tell
him? What would I tell myself? It's gonna be all right.
Yeah, for real. That's good.
No, I mean, I don't know. I just, just that. Nothing in life is easy.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to go through the fire to be forged into that fierce metal. Absolutely. You're gonna be. And don't ever give up. And don't ever change your heart.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I had to walk through the fire to become who I am now,
Yeah.
People ask me would I do things different if I could, and I don't know if I would, because I feel God had a purpose through my path, so I would just tell myself it's gonna get rough, but you're gonna get through it,
and
you're gonna be a better man at the end of the day,
I love that.
And just make sure you take care of everyone along the way.
Absolutely, bro. I meet with a lot of men on a daily basis, bro. And I always tell these guys, pressure makes diamonds. You know what I mean? It takes a whole lot of pressure to take that lump of coal and turn it into a diamond. You know what I mean? So you got to fully immerse yourself in that journey. And I've said this before, just recently I made a video about, people are always just like, they're fixated on trying to accomplish something, and all they could think about is the result of what they want to accomplish. But they don't take the time to cherish the journey and the lessons that it took to get you there to be able to accomplish that. Because that journey is where you're going to learn those necessary information, the necessary language of what it's going to take to be able to sustain whatever it is you're accomplishing. Because it's one thing to get out of prison. It's easy to get out of prison. It's easy to get off of drugs. But what's hard is staying off of drugs, and what's hard is staying out of prison. You know what I mean? I appreciate you, my boy, coming through and sharing your story, man.
Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Where could people find you at, man?
All right, so on Instagram, it's just my personal one. It's just Pi, P-A-I, 21913. And then my TikTok is Big Paya 801, B-I-G, P-A-Y-A 801.
I love that.
That's where you find me. That's my social media, I try to stay active, but with my business, sometimes it gets hard.
Yeah.
But I feel like I got to get that message out, like I changed my life, and I was deeply immersed into that gang culture, and I made it out,
Yeah.
I'm out here striving, trying to lead by example, show people that the grass is greener, you know.
Absolutely.
You can get through it, you know.
I love that. And also, if there's anybody that's out there like, man, I just heard him talk about some concrete. How do I get a hold of this, man? I'm trying to get my driveway done or something. Where do they need to look you up at? Is there a website or is there?
So Instagram, it's MQ Concrete, and then Facebook is just Mountain Quality Concrete as well. I'm on TikTok too, MQ Concrete. But that's my business, Mountain Quality Concrete, and I'm based out of Sandy, and we serve all, basically, like within 2 hours of Salt Lake City, surrounding areas.
Love that.
We'll make it happen.
Okay. Yeah, I'll make sure to put those links too on this episode, so you guys will be able to click on those links and tap in with Pi, tap in with him. Maybe you guys want to read a little bit more into his social media presence and watch his videos. He got some great videos of his family, and he also dropped some good gems of information that could be beneficial to your life. And with the concrete thing too, make sure you tap in, my boy. You need that driveway done. You need them concrete laid. Make sure you tap in. Now, you guys heard it. Once again, we just dropped this episode of K's No More Podcast. This is a space to be able to learn yourself, to transcend from the life that you may have come from, whether it's gang life, whether it's addiction, like my friend here, coming from that life, being addicted to that lifestyle is a real thing. So just because you're not addicted to drugs doesn't mean you're not addicted. Make sure you tap in with your boy Smacks, click the like and subscribe, and share the video. Appreciate y'all, man.